Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today what I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on Stenny's new manager. But before we do get into this video and I reveal who it is and who he's going to be bringing with him as assistant and coach and all that, I've got a few shout outs to do for YouTube. We've got a couple of special ones. We've got Samuel Meikle, who has very kindly agreed to be my editor for the full season coming up for Stenny. He's been asking a few times. I said maybe just wait until, you know, it's kind of the start of the season, like the new season, waiting on videos to start. And I've always said, and he's always kept asking me, so I've usually said wait, but now I've decided yes. I sent him the thing what I wanted to make him for my intro. I think he's getting that back to me, so if there's an intro before this video, that will be the intro for every other video. We might update it throughout the season, but if there's an intro before this video, it's because he has worked on that. It's clips I've sent him I wanted him to make into one, and he would have done a great job with that. I've seen the clip. If he can manage to get it in, I'm sure he will. But if you're wondering why there might be an intro, that's why. So thank you to Samuel Meikle for subscribing on 2 of his accounts, following me on TikTok, and also wanting to be my editor. I've also got another special one to do for Ross Graham. He goes to my school. Subscribed on 2 of his accounts. I really appreciate that, Ross. Hopefully, you can get people that you know to subscribe to me as well. I'd appreciate it if you can do that. It helps my channel grow. I believe that is us for shout outs just now. So anyway, we're going to get on with the video, and as I say, if there's an intro or anything, it's because Samuel, my editor, has kindly managed to make that for me. So today we're going to be talking about the new Stenny manager. It got announced yesterday. I did not get a chance to do this. I did not get a chance to speak about it yesterday. I had football yesterday, and with the times it was quite awkward. So apologies I didn't manage to get that done. But we're here now to discuss it. After a good couple of minutes of chatting off topic, we're now going to get on topic. So the new Stenny manager is Marvin Bartley. His assistant is Neil Hastings, and Gregor Buchanan will be a player coaching role. So it'll be interesting to see how that management team gets on. I had a feeling Marvin Bartley had been on the shortlist, but Stennismuir, I listened to Marvin Bartley's interview. He said Stennismuir reached out to him and they wanted him to do the job, because he was saying last week he was on holiday, but just really since Friday-ish they've kind of been in touch with him and he's kind of accepted it. So he had the job for a day or two before we got it confirmed. I'm going to say I think it's quite a decent appointment, to be fair. I know people are saying Queen of the South he didn't do very well, but that was that must have been 3-4 years ago now. I think he's learned a good amount of stuff from that job. I think he's learned from where he made his mistakes. He's learned where he has to do better. And then he took over at Livingston in February, Livingston had probably had about 9 points. Marvin Bartley took over, he got him about 20 odd points. I know you're thinking I know he only won 1 game with Livingston, but he only lost about 4. The rest of his games he drew. I think he drew probably 8 or 9 of them. I know he drew with some decent teams. I know he drew with Hibs, drew with Hearts, drew with Rangers. He drew with a lot of teams. He nearly beat Celtic as well. So, you know, I don't think he's a bad manager. Some might say it's his fault. It's not his fault Livingston got relegated. He came in February after the transfer window had closed. If Livingston were going to do the decent thing, they would have brought him in January, start of the month in January. They could have let him bring in his own players and they could have made a genuine attempt to get out of the mess they were in. And if he had his own players that he wanted to bring in at Livingston, I think they might have stayed up. So you can't actually blame that on him. It'd be a great appointment for us in the Championship. Watched this interview. He said he'll like to have possession a lot, he'll like to keep possession. I don't know how much of a fan I am of that. You know, I don't know if I like my team to be constantly knocking about the ball. I'd like us to get forward as quickly as we can, but it's not what I want. It's not what I think. It's what Marvin Bartley thinks. It's how he thinks he can get the team to play for the championship. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the first time in our 142 years of existence we've been in the championship. I know it sounds bad, but we've always been a lower league club. But since Gary Naismith came in, he's obviously got his move now to Ayr. The job he's done at us, you can see why we're in the championship. So looking forward to the Marvin Bartley era. I don't know how long it's going to last. Hopefully it's longer than a season anyway. So he's joined on a full-time contract now. What that means is he's going to be working all the time. The Stenny players are part-time, but he's going to be working all the time. Obviously, I guess he'll be wanting to get players in, the way the team play. We're looking at each and individual one stats as well to see what's our strengths. We'll see the contracts we've got. The list of players we've actually only got, I think we've only got 12, 13 players in the squad, because on to my next thing after we finish discussing the management staff. We've lost a lot of our players to go to other teams, or contracts just expired, and loans have expired as well. So Neil Hastings has been working with Marvin Bartley, I think, basically since he started management. I don't even know who he is, but he's just Marvin Bartley's assistant. I've listened to his interview as well. They sound very confident that they can get us to stay in the championship. They seem like they could get us, that they're going to get players in that's going to help with that. Obviously we've lost a few good ones as well, so we're going to need to find some good replacements. So hopefully they can do the job to keep us up, and then they said after they keep us up we can just build on it from there. So, and Gregor Buchanan, he's going to be a player coaching role. Marvin Bartley said it will just be a bit each, be equal, playing and coaching. He's not going to play every game, he's not going to coach every game. It'd be interesting to see though what his coaching's like. Obviously we know how he is as a player, he's our captain. I think we would miss him on the pitch, but player coaching role, I think he'd be good for the coaching role in the championship. So that's Marvin Bartley, Neil Hastings and Gregor Buchanan as our management staff for the championship season, and potentially even further in our future. So now we're going to be talking about some players that have left the club. So loans that expired. Zeke Cameron, he played about 35 odd games. He was brilliant, I thought. Great speed, he brought good energy into games. I thought he made an impact when he came on every week. Kane Richie Hostler, he only managed to get to 10 games. He came in February, then he got an injury. He did have a really good game against Hamilton where he got a goal and an assist, and his all-round performance that day was good. Ollie White, the one I'm going to miss the most. We got him on loan from Motherwell, 19 years old, Ollie White. He'd never really played at this level before. I didn't know how good a sign it was, but really after 3-4 games, he really kicked on to be a brilliant signing. His energy going up and down the pitch, playing in that attacking midfielder role, getting back into defend, staying up to attack. Brilliant. He scored like 10 goals, he got a couple of assists as well, so he will be missed. He's a talented young fella, and he's got a contract extension at Motherwell, and I think he really, really deserves that. So I hope he goes and has a bright future and gets some first team football at Motherwell. Kelsey Ewan has retired from football. I think he's only about 25, so I know you're thinking, what would he retire for? I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't concern me. It's no offence to Kelsey Ewan, but I just didn't think he'd be able to cope in the championship. But, you've got to respect the decision to retire. He had a great couple of years at Stenny. I appreciate everything that he did for the club. He will be missed, but it's just time we move on and get some other players in. The big one for me here, Ross Taylor has left to join Ayr. So when we knew Gary Naismith and Brown Ferguson were going to Ayr, we had a feeling that in their preparation for the new season they would take a player with them, and we all thought the same player, Ross Taylor. We all thought Ross Taylor will go to Ayr with them if he gets a chance, if they make an offer for him. Now I have heard we've made quite a bit of money from this transfer. I do remember Marvin Bartley saying in his interview that we've probably got the smallest budget in the championship. We've got the smallest stadium. Sorry about that. Yeah, smallest budget, smallest stadium. Obviously, did need a wee bit more money. I think we still got a good amount of money, but that's from our cup runs. Is how we finished the playoffs. We finished second in the league. We've got Taylor's money, Naismith's money, Ferguson's money. I don't know for exactly how much we got, but we're losing our player of the season from last season, our top goal scorer. Brilliant winger. 3 seasons at the club, he was excellent. He was really young when he joined. He's still quite young. I think he's only about 22. His pace. He's probably Stenny's fastest player. Beating a man on the wing didn't seem like a problem. Seemed like he could just do it for hours. Stamina, fitness was great. The way he could score goals was brilliant as well. So he's going to be missed. I mean, I'm happy he got his move to Ayr because he deserves it. But we'll miss him at Stenny, and we just hope that he's not going to be one that's putting the ball in the back of the net against us in the Championship. Scott McGill is away to Arbroath. I think he was one that his contract was up. So I don't know if the club are going to renew it or not. I would have renewed McGill's contract, to be honest. I'd have offered him one. If he doesn't take it, it's up to him. But Arbroath have signed him. It'll be a good signing for Arbroath. McGill's a good player, you know. He gets back well and he wins a lot of his tackles. He doesn't pull out anything. His balls through are really good, and he can strike the ball for the edge of the box. He's had a few ones where he's quite close. He won goal of the season as well for the Peach against Montrose. He scored back in October at Oakville View. So I think it'll be a good sign for Arbroath. Obviously, we will be playing against them. That's a couple of players we'll be playing against now. And I forgot to mention, Kane Richie Hostler signed for Arbroath as well. So, you know, it's going to feel weird playing against a few of our old players next season. But it's just something we're going to have to get used to. You know, it's the Championship. It's not going to be easy. A lot of clubs are going to want your players, you know, from League 2 to Championship in 3 seasons. It's unbelievable. So that's all the players that have left. Leighton Grant, Curtis Lyle, I think they're still trying to decide whether to renew the contracts or not for them. I'd be happy to see Leighton Grant at least. I don't think Curtis Lyle would be a good enough standard goalkeeper for the Championship. I think you need to get another goalkeeper. It doesn't have to, I'm not saying somebody better than Darren Jameson. I'm saying somebody that could be good backup to him. I don't think Curtis Lyle just has that enough in the Championship. But we'll see what happens. I'd be delighted if they both stay, to be honest. So, you know, we will see. And then obviously, I think we've only got about 13 players, so we're probably going to need 5-6 players, even more. I think Marvin Bartley knows what he's doing though. I wonder if we'll try and bring any of his Livingston players in on loan. He was a player as well. I think he's played with a few clubs. He played with Hibs. I think he's actually a Hibs supporter. I don't know, but hopefully, you know, he can bring in the right players. His formation is a 3-4-2-1, I believe. I was checking with Livingston, that's what he was playing. I don't know if he'll do the same for us. I think it'd be a formation that would be familiar to Naismith. Played it sometimes. Not all the time. He played it maybe 2-3 matches. If it worked, he kept playing it until it didn't work. So hopefully, if it is the formation we're playing, it works. We need to give him a chance. We've got the Stirlingshire Cup coming up on the 27th of June. Stirling Albion and Dumbarton we're playing against. There might be matchday vlogs up though. I'm going to try and get a lot more matchday vlogs in this season. Probably the cup games especially, and maybe a few league games. It's not going to be a consistent thing, but it'll be things that might happen now and again. So yeah, we're just going to see the new signings. Once we get a few signings in, I'll be sitting talking about them. And hopefully it's just enough to survive the Championship. So anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share my channel with people that don't know my channel but maybe will be interested in it. Thank you for the support recently. Thanks for getting to my 165 subscribers. You're smashing it. Please keep it up. I can't believe how well the support's going. Please keep it up. It means a lot to me. And thank you to Samuel Meikle again for doing the editing that he is, and hopefully you like my new intro when it does come into videos. It might be in this one, I don't know. If not this one, it'll definitely be the next one. So hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the manager, some of the players, and then players we're going to bring in the Stirlingshire Cup. So that's it for this one guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Cheers and goodbye for now.